Hola, profe. I know your secret. I know that you want to use more Spanish in class and that it's hard, right? I know I was in the same situation when I started teaching Spanish and I was like, "Oof, I should be using more Spanish. My Spanish 4 students should be doing more. They should be saying more. They should be writing more." And it felt really overwhelming to start using more Spanish because students resist. It's scary because I'm not a native speaker. It's scary even if you are a heritage or native speaker, you know they're going to push back. So, what if I told you that it doesn't have to be stressful and that it doesn't have to be hard and that it can actually make teaching easier when you use more Spanish? Bueno, I've got a step-by-step process to help you make the switch with confidence, and I'm sharing it in my new course, Más Español, Menos Estrés. So let's talk about it. So maybe you've tried using Spanish, but your students say, "Uy, no entiendo," or ¿cómo se dice? ¿Cómo se dice? ¿Cómo se dice? And it's just like that for the whole hour. Or maybe they just check out, but maybe you're afraid of making mistakes, which is real, right? Or maybe you have a class with mixed proficiency levels and you just don't know how to teach everyone because you've got native speakers and heritage speakers and L2 learners, and you've got IEPs, and you've got 504s, and you've got BIPs. And there's a lot to think about. It sounds like extra work, it feels like extra work, but the reality is you've already got too much on your plate. And that is real for all of us, so you're not alone. So let's talk about my course, Más Español, Menos Estrés. It's going to help you take it step by step, take it week by week, and use Spanish in class without stress, without frustration, without overwhelm. Okay. By the end of this course, by the end of our 6 weeks together, it's actually going to be sooner than that, but by the end of it, we're going to be total rock stars. You'll be using Spanish in class, and your students are going to be engaged. They are going to understand. That's what we want. And they will actually acquire the language. Es el objetivo de la clase, ¿no? So let's talk about what that looks like. So you can either scroll down and decide you're already in and go ahead and click and sign on up, or you can listen to me share what we're going to be doing during our course. So we have 6 weeks, and during those 6 weeks, we are going to break down your mindset. Why is it hard to use Spanish in class? How can we make it easy to use Spanish in class? And how can we ditch that student resistance and the perfectionism, both for you and for them? Because I know sometimes my students are scared to use Spanish because they want it to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. I know that. You know that. They need to know that. Let's help them learn it. You're going to create during that first week your own teacher toolkit so that you always know what to say. You always know how to move forward. You always have the answer. That's our goal in our first week, is just getting you the answers ready to move forward. Week 2, we're going to talk about ways that you can start using more Spanish con cero estrés. ¿Vale? We want Spanish to be a natural part of your daily routine. We're going to start to build it in, and we're going to start to scaffold so every student, even with those 504s, those IEPs, those BIPs, everything, everybody's following along. Okay? We're going to get them all. And then during week 3, we're going to make adjustments. So we're going to determine, are my students actually acquiring Spanish? How can I tell if they're actually acquiring Spanish? Is this working? Is this not working? And we're going to keep moving forward. Okay. And we're going to focus on keeping them engaged and not just exposing them to Spanish, but getting them acquiring and using Spanish. Week 4 is all about your long-term success. So we're going to talk about getting students excited about Spanish so they stop pushing back and making it fun, and how to manage classroom culture, because that can be a really hard sticking point of how do I manage what's happening in my classroom without using English. And then we're going to move into our last stage, which is sticking with it for life. So how do we avoid burnout? Because it can feel tiring to think in this new way of how do I use Spanish consistently. So we're going to talk about how to keep it sustainable, how we can expand this across multiple levels of class, and how to build your community so that you have consistent support. So that sounds like a lot, but that's why we're going to take it slow. And that's why you're going to have a community of teachers who are here supporting you every step of the way. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to create tons of new materials. You don't need a new curriculum. You just need the right approach. If you're ready to make Spanish your classroom's default language, let's sign up. All right, sign up for Más Español, Menos Estrés, and you'll get everything you need to make that switch. Enrollment closes soon, so don't wait. See you inside, profe. Nos vemos.